In today's lesson, I will discuss the composition of functions. So when you are composing functions, you are putting one function into another function. So let's say I give you a function that is f of x equals to 2x plus 1, and I ask you to evaluate this function when the value of x is 3. That is, I ask you to find f of 3. So what you want to do is to replace any x that is in this function f of x by 3. So this will give us 2 multiplied by 3 plus 1. So in that case, our f of 3 will be 7, because 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 will be 7. So the composition of function is very similar to evaluating function, but instead of being given the value of x as just a number, you are now given another function to put into this function. Example 1. So let's assume that our f of x remain this 2x plus 1, okay? And now we are given g of x, which is now s squared, okay? That is s raised to the power of 2. So we are now asked to find, okay, a composed function that is f of g, okay? So they can write it as f of g, or they can also say f of g. So these two notation, they are the same, okay? Whenever you find f of g, FOG, okay, sometimes people call this fog, or they can also write it as, instead of just say f of g, they can also write it as f of g of x, okay? So don't get confused. So if they ask you to find f of g of x, they are just asking you to find f of g, okay? So don't be confused. So let's solve this. So this is example 1. So we are given f of x and we are given g of x. We are now asked to find f of g. So to find f of g, so let's rewrite our function. So we are looking for f of g. So let's write f of x first. So we are given that f of x is 2x plus 1, okay? So that means f of x, I'm just highlighting the x to make a point. So instead of the f of x, we are now asked to replace the x with a g, okay? So I'm just going to say f of g. But now, instead of just ordinary g, our g has a value of s squared. So what we want to do is to replace this g with s raised to the power of 2, okay? So we know that this g is the same thing as s raised to the power of 2. So this will make our f of g to be 2s squared plus 1. So that's it. So in the second example, we are told to find function g of f. So let's quickly do the function g of f. So function g of f, again, we want to first go from g of x. We know that g of x is s squared, okay? G of x is s squared. So what will be our g of f? Again, let's remove the x and put f into the g, okay? And we know again that our f has a value. Our f is 2x plus 1. So we put 2x plus 1 in this. So our g of f will be 2x plus 1 squared. So that is our g of f. And as you can see, our f of g is not equals to g of f. There is only one condition where f of g will be equals to g of f, and that will be a discussion of another video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.